All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to be talking about Gervonta Davis and some things coming out of the camp of Terrence Bud Crawford. After Gervonta's very impressive win with Frank Martin, seems as if Gervonta Davis is already being accused of ducking Shakur Stevenson, and they may have a point. Let's talk about that and have fun with this boxing world in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, we will be talking about a couple of the best fighters that there are in boxing, a couple of the best fighters that there's been this century. And I have to tell you, man, I really at this point in time am not sure about who is the better fighter. And I'm talking about Gervonta Davis and Terrence Crawford. I could very well also throw into that Shakur Stevenson, the former 126-pound WBO champion, the former unified 130-pound champion when he held the WBO and the WBC, and the current WBC world champion at lightweight. All very, very terrific fighters, and are all kind of going at one another over what Gervonta Davis will do next. Now, before I get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and thank you to everybody that supports. And I would love, I don't love to do this, but I want to say something. Shout out to my guy, Mr. Denton. I hope that you're doing well. It goes by Ashton Denton on YouTube. I know what you're going through, man. Be well. We're with you on your prayer. You are with me in my prayers and in my family's prayers. Stay strong. You're going to beat what you got going on. And let's get into this. But thank you to everybody that supports the channel, comes by the channel, supports in the live stream, supports in the super thanks videos like this, and sends me DMs on Instagram where we can chop it up. And hey, man, you got personal things you want to talk to me about, or videos that you want done, or information you have, man, hit me up on Instagram. It'll be going across the scroll on the bottom, or Twitter. Anyway, so let's get into this. Gervonta Davis was asked after the fight took place between he and Frank Martin this weekend about who he wanted to fight next. And he, being the media savvy person that he's become, said all of them. All of them can include, I mean, really anybody. So when he says all of them, it means almost like no in particular person. And when he was asked, would he fight these people? He said, yeah. He said yes to Frank. He said, yeah, he would give Ryan Garcia a rematch. He said, yeah, I'll kick his ASS again. He said he would fight Vasily Lomachenko. He said all of them, right? Now, he did say something and answer a question about Shakur Stevenson. And the answer that he gave was not as committed. And the question, I think it's important to understand the question that he was asked. The question was, do you think that Shakur Stevenson's style in the fight would make it a less interesting fight because you're going to have to chase him around the ring? And Gervonta said, like, you can look more in like this, the inclination of his head and the way that he said, he was like, yeah, you know, but hey, man, I think the fight would be good for boxing. You know, if we do it now or we do it down the road. Right. So it was like, he ain't looking like he's looking for that unification right away with Shakur Stevenson. Now, there was also from Terrence Crawford camp, Terrence Crawford himself before the fight said something about Gervonta and how Shakur Stevenson would not let Gervonta Davis do all that clowning with him that Frank Martin let Gervonta Davis get away with. Now, I don't know what Terrence Crawford thought that Shakur Stevenson's going to do any different than what at a weigh-in or than what Frank Martin did. Not much. He's not going to do much different, right? I do believe that Shakur is probably the better fighter, but in a press conference, I mean, what is he really going to do? But his team member came out, Bernie the Boxer, and did a video, a live stream. And I always like to big up Bernie the Boxer, man. Make sure you guys go follow him on YouTube. He really does know his stuff. Been a member of Terrence Crawford's camp for years. Constantly see him out there in the media. A trainer. Some people call him a hype man, but I thought that's inappropriate and inaccurate. It's a real trainer. And he said that that Gervonta Davis is hiding from Shakur Stevenson, is using the Mayweather blueprint to avoid tough fights, right? So you know that the demands for this fight with Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis is going to be coming loud out from a lot of different people, right? However, it's probably not going to happen anytime soon for the reason that particular interviewer's question, which is that Shakur Stevenson, and I like Shakur Stevenson a lot for a fight. I want to see Gervonta Davis fight Shakur Stevenson, and I'm not saying that this is a good thing necessarily for the sport of boxing in the competitive aspect of it, because I think those guys are the best at that weight division. But Shakur Stevenson said some things in the media when he was talking about how, when Ryan Garcia fought Devin Haney, and how Devin Haney, once he got hit, he should have just, hey, man, look, once I got hit, no, I'm just going to stink. I'm saying, he didn't say the word stink the joint up. I'm saying stink the joint up. That he should have just went on ahead and stunk the joint up and just moved in box and said, hey, man, I'm just going to win this fight. If I got to, don't care what the fans got to say. Yeah, that comment ain't going to get it done. That comment's not going to get it done, because while that may work for Shakur Stevenson and Shakur Stevenson's career, making a guaranteed fight that is guaranteed to be that way, because he's not staying there with Gervonta. No, he's not going to stay there with Gervonta. He's going to try to pot shot, jab, move left, right, jab, jab, move, jab, jab. Not going to work, bro. He's not going to stand there right there with Gervonta Davis and let Gervonta Davis land, any consistent amount of actual fight going on, because Shakur Stevens can wind up waking up, with his head bouncing up off that canvas. But saying that going into the boxing match, you could see Calvin Ford's face look like this. Like, nah, like, nah, we've got something else going on here where we're trying to make the biggest fights and where people are really interested and excited about the fights. And there's some real validity to that argument, because if you look at the Frank Martin fight, man, the Frank Martin fight was exciting. And that's what draws people's eyes to the sport of boxing. That's why Gervonta Davis really is the star that he is. And people cannot deny that this man is a star, and that he's consistently giving people things that they want to see. Nobody is man, how many times do you see Gervonta Davis getting booed? And so they're not going to just willingly say, okay, here, cash cow to the guy that ain't going to try to make the fight. Now, when you had Floyd and you had Manny Pacquiao, it was kind of like the other way around. The guy that would be more boxing and moving and seemingly, or at least by accusations that people made, be less willing to engage. That person was the dude with the big fan base. So you had another guy that was more of a press the action guy that was coming in and trying to, that they were like, well, he's not going to be able to cut the ring off on Floyd. He's going to be able to do this and that to Floyd. So there was a lot of excitement and anticipation for that fight because of the styles of the fighter. Nobody's looking at some really high action fighter and thinking, yeah, let's put him up here against a guy that's going to, a dude that's going to slow everything down. And we know the most likely outcome of this is a fight that's not going to be exciting. So I don't know about this Mayweather plan, though, that people keep putting out there, because I definitely remember Floyd Mayweather's career. I watched Floyd Mayweather Jr. from the time that he was watching, when he was getting introduced as, the son of one of the Mayweathers, right? That was the pitch for him when he came out. He's the son of the Mayweather brothers, because there's Jeff Mayweather, Roger Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather Sr. He was just, part of the fighting family. And from the very, very beginning, he was getting put in there tough against people. And in the end of his career, he's still getting put in tough with people. I still have no idea how people can say somebody that fought Canelo Alvarez, when Canelo Alvarez was at 154 pounds, somehow was trying to avoid all the great competition because he fought Canelo Alvarez and he didn't fight Sean Porter. Still doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. I don't think we're seeing that fight next. Hopefully we'll see it soon. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.